Hi guys, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So after discussing all the positive topics like marriage, your extreme wealth, now we'll discuss some negative concepts which you also need to know if you are a budding palmist or take interest in palmistry. So we'll discuss the sign of accidents. How can just by looking at someone's palm, we can get to know whether this person is vulnerable towards the happening of some unforeseen events or happening of the possibility of the accidents. So before I start explaining this concept, I just want to make some ground rules very clear. First thing is that I believe in this doctrine and I believe in this principle that all these signs, whether or even the combination in your astrological chart, they tell about the possibility of the happening of an event rather than just some fortune teller telling you that this is the kind of combination which is I'm seeing in your chart and this is or I'm seeing in your palm and yeah, this event is bound to happen. So I don't believe in that. What I found in my true research is that these sign tells about the the generation of the circumstances, the possibility of the happening of an event. So that's the first ground rule. Second is that whichever sign you are assessing or doing analysis or considering, you need to look at that sign from all the perspective, from all other combinations as well. So let's say if someone has got a good amount of moon, so that would definitely make this person very creative. But in order for that person to succeed as a good artist, you also need to look at the condition of the headline, condition of the fate line, as well as the overall color and structure of the hand. One sign in totality never tells the whole picture. No matter, even if, let's say for example, if that person has got a amount of moon, so and other combinations are adversible in his hand, the headline is in a bad afflicted state, the sun line is afflicted with negative signs. So rather than becoming a good artist, this person could become a very daydreamer, so building castles in the air. And the third ground rule, which is also very important, is that whichever prediction you are making, you need to make that by doing a proper scrutinization of the country in which the country which individual belongs to, the time in which we are living, and thirdly the personality of the individual, because what might be considered as a trend in one country could be seen as a taboo in another country. You know, a very simple example, what is written in our ancient scriptures is that if you'll find, let's say for example, if you'll find the sign of cross on the mount of moon, so that person is liable to die in water. But in today's day and age, the same sign can also be interpreted as that this person would have a heightened imaginative qualities and this person might lose his track on the reality and become an insane, because this also tells about the subconscious thinking process along with the water. So this is how we do analysis in palmistry. So now coming to the topic which we are going to discuss today, which is how can we see the upcoming or the imminent happening of some negative events in the form of accidents in the life of an individual. So let's say if any point of time, the very first primary sign is, if you have any point of time spotted the sign of star in the quadrangle. So the quadrangle is formed by your this heart line and the headline. So if you've spotted a sign of star, not cross, sign of star, this is our cross and this is our star. So a formation or a arrival of a sign of star in between the heart and headline in the quadrangle is a sign of possibility of an accident. So that's one sign. Along with that, let's say if you have spotted a sign of circle on the mount of Venus, so this also tells about the happening of a possibility of an accident. If you have spotted a mole or till, which is not considered good anywhere, so if you have spotted a sign of mole or spot on the mount of Mercury or even the sign of cross on the mount of Mercury, this also makes someone very much vulnerable towards accidents. That's one more sign. And along with that, let's say if you have spotted this is our health line, which is like the line coming from the at the bottom of the little finger or the mount of Mercury. So if you have spotted this line coming, this line which is known as the line of Mercury, line of health, not only tells about your communication skills, about your business acumen, but it also tells about your health, state of your health. So any point of time this line either touches, not even touches, rather even it crosses the lifeline, this particular point of time, and that individual would also remain very much vulnerable towards accidents. So if you will time this line, so this point would come out to be somewhere around 34, 35. So during this time point of time, this person has to give very much care of his lifestyle. If he is a rash driver, he need to keep his rash driving skills at guard. If this person has got too much of indulgence in junk food or too much of drinking, then also this person need to give proper care to his health. So this is because otherwise what's the use of learning any meta science if everything is predestined? We learn these sciences so that we get to know the happening of the events beforehand, and we can just fix them for the betterment of our lives. So this is one more sign. Along with that, if you will find any breaks in the major lines, so let's say if you spot this kind of breaks in the headline, this kind of break in the lifeline, this also is a one more sign of this person remaining vulnerable towards accident at that point of time. And one more sign, let's say this is our Mount of Mars, which tells about our aggression, our courage. It also represents violence. So let's say any point of time you will spot an influence line from the Mount of Mars, lower Mars, going towards the Mount of Saturn. So this line which is cutting, which has originated from the lower Mars, has passed cutting the lifeline first, then it has cut the heart line, then it has cut the headline, then it has cut the heart line, and has reached the Mount of Saturn. So this is a combination, is a most probable combination of the accident, because Mars represents our fire, Saturn represents our petrol, fuel. So what happens when a fuel and fire combines. So this can also be seen like this way. So if you'll find this line from the Mount of lower Mars to the Mount of Saturn is one more sign. Along with that, if you'll find the headline in a wavy combination. So let's say headline is something like this, and on that there is a sign of cross under the Mount of Saturn. So this is also one more sign of head injury. Along with that, if any point of time you will see, let's say you will see these lifeline, headline and heartline originating from the same source. So this is also one more sign of vulnerability towards accidents. If the origin of three lines, or let's say heartline and lifeline and headline originating from the same point, so this also makes someone very much vulnerable. Along with that, one more sign which you need to look at is that this is our fate line. So all those lines, influence line coming from the Mount of Moon and joining to the fate line is considered as a good sign. But let's say if we'll find these lines cutting through the fate line, so this also remains to be one more sign of vulnerability towards happening of the accidents. If you'll time this line, so at this particular age, this person would remain to be vulnerable towards accidents. So these all are the signs which we remain to be watchful of. If you spot these signs on someone's palm, they tell about the possibility of the accidents. So that we have discussed. Now comes the concept of discussing the extreme melancholiness or the signs of suicidal tendency in someone's hand. So let's say if any point of time you will find this kind of net on the Mount of Saturn. This makes someone very much vulnerable towards committing suicide due to financial troubles. Then, and like the way I always say, signs need to be looked at from including all the perspectives. Just the single spotting of this sign doesn't confirm the possibility of the event. You need to look at it from all the perspectives. So sign of net on the Mount of Saturn makes someone vulnerable towards committing suicide due to financial troubles. Then comes the sign of mole. This makes someone vulnerable towards committing suicide due to failure in love troubles. That's one more sign. And then comes another sign. Let's say if you have spotted the sign of mole on the ring finger. So ring finger, which tells about our recognition, our our desire to get respect and recognition in the society. So if any point of time the sign of mole, which is considered as a negative, as a malefic sign, no matter wheresoever it is getting spotted on the hand. So spotting of the sign of mole on the ring finger makes someone so intense towards and so protected towards his self-respect, that if any aspersion will be casted, or if any blame will be made, allegation will be made on his character, or any sign of defamation, this person could even go to the extent of committing suicide. So that's one more sign. Along with that, if let's say you will find this third flange of middle finger to be excessively long in someone's hand. So how we judge that? The standard length of the top flange is 20% of the complete length of the finger. The standard length of the second flange of the finger is 35% of the total length of the finger, and the standard length of the third flange is 45% of the complete length of the finger. So if the finger is 10 centimeter long, so 2 centimeter would be the ideal length of the top flange, 3.5 would remain to be the ideal length of the middle flange, and 4.5 would remain to be ideal length of the bottom flange. So let's say, for example, you have it spotted in someone's hand, third flange excessively long. So, and along with that there are 2 stars on the third flange of the middle finger. Along with that, the headline is broken under the middle finger. So this is a sign that this person is very much vulnerable towards excessive melancholiness, and this person is very much vulnerable towards committing suicide. So that's one more sign. Along with that, if you will find the mount of moon to be prominent, and along with that the headline is ending in a star. So the mount of moon is prominent and the headline is ending in a star, diving deep in the mount of the moon. So this is also one more sign which makes someone vulnerable towards taking his own life. So and along with that, the sign of if you will find a sign of cross on the, let's say there is a girdle of Venus, and there is a sign of cross on the girdle of Venus. Along with that there is a line of Mars, and there is a sign of cross on the line of Mars. So these are also some of the signs which make someone vulnerable towards melancholiness and extreme of negativity. So this is how we do analysis in palmistry. So any point of time you come across someone's hand where all these signs are visible, you need to look at it not only from this base concept which I just taught you, along with the other combination of the hand. And the most guarding qualities which you need to look at in our hand is the state of the thumb. No matter how negative the circumstances are, how strong ups and downs and vicissitudes of the life one is going through, but if someone has the strong firm long thumb, that this person has the ability to keep a guard in the negative situations of his life and remaining on top of no matter how much negativity is trying to put him into any kind of negative thoughts. So this is how we do analysis in palmistry. So I hope I made myself very clear on this video. For further more updates and notification on palmistry, please subscribe my channel and like my Facebook page. Thanks.